UnG DataHub is built on ArcGIS Hub technology, and it has become the central point for all evidence, mapping, data, and analysis within and across Údarás na Gaeltachta sections and departments. Front page provides some summary statistics and a link to a number of different key tools across the hub. First one we'll look at here is our socioeconomic profile, working with all of the data from Census 2022. Across this section, which will be of use to users within Údarás na Gaeltachta, but also will be made publicly available to stakeholders and organizations and groups working in and across the Gaeltacht areas. The number of different dashboards on here are based on around 20 different themes of data with over 150 indicators coming from the census. To start with, there is a summary Census 22 profile dashboard, and this provides an overall view of all Gaeltacht areas and the various geographies, from the counties that the Gaeltachts are in, the individual Gaeltacht areas, and then the 26 language planning areas across the country. Users can select from a number of different themes, whether it's age cohorts, broadband, citizenship, or in this case, we will look at principal economic status. As you will see, the indicators change. You can then click on whatever indicator you want to look at. In this case, we'll look at total unemployment, and it presents the percentage of that variable across all the relevant Gaeltacht areas. The tool is of use at a macro and a micro level. So you can look at all Gaeltacht areas, or if you're working within just the Galway Gaeltacht or the Donegal Gaeltacht, you can select your particular area. As such, this tool is not just of use for all Údarás na Gaeltachta, but for the individual sections working within and across the country. So let's look at the Galway area. You will see it filters out the different geographies not relevant. You still get the state comparison, the Galway city, the Galway county comparison, the Galway Gaeltacht, and the different language planning areas across the Galway Gaeltacht. We will see the Islands 15.4%, Carrua 14.2%. In contrast to that, we have Moycullen only 5.9%, and we have different areas with their different percentage rates. So that's how this main summary dashboard works. We then have an experience builder set up here, which provides far more detail across the different themes. And this is where the work that we've done with Údarás is, we believe, very innovative. So if we have a look at the education section, this provides a very detailed individual dashboard to look at these themes again across the Gaeltacht areas. So to start with, you're provided with the indicators across the theme, and then you can select on your different study areas. So whether it's Galway, whether it's Donegal, and so on. But what is very interesting and we feel innovative about this is we're using arcade scripting and coding in the background to link our map, which is all produced in ArcPro and done in ArcGIS Online, and our geographical hierarchy, the sideline. So when you select your indicator, what happens is it automatically changes the map and it automatically changes the dashboard along the left. So let's say we want to look at all third level. We click on that. The arcade scripting in the background changes the layer symbology on the map and also changes our geographical hierarchy here. So we can see what areas have the highest level of third level education. You can see Barn outside Galway 60%, whereas if we look at the islands, only 20%. So for Údarás, showing very different things across this particular Galway Gaeltacht. However, when we zoom in, you can then see all of that detail at the small area level. So what we're looking at here in 21% in County Illon, but 21%, we can see the differences then at the small area level. So as you zoom in, you can see the percentages highlighted in the small areas, or you click on the small area and the pop-up gives you that particular data. The next thing I want to show is the map viewer. And of course, Údarás are not just interested in census data and all the different themes that it covers. There also is a very detailed mapping viewer with a large variety of data set up on here. When the dashboard opens up in the mapping viewer, it's centered on the Galway area. But again, if you were from the Donegal Gaeltacht to the Kerry Gaeltacht, we've got different zooms here. So you click on this, your mapping viewer will automatically zoom to your particular Gaeltacht area. similar to Kerry. We can see what's going on down there. The list of data sets are here. We've already looked at the census data, huge variety of them set up in here. You can turn on and off those, the usual pop-ups. But what's really useful here, and which has completely changed the data availability across Udaros, is the work that's been done to bring in all of the different open data services from other organizations across the country. So using GeoHive open data, using National Parks and Wildlife, Fáilte Ireland, all sorts of different groups, Sport Ireland and so on. So very quickly, while previously they didn't have much data at the local level, we can now turn on things like post-primary schools, look at them by, where the DESH schools were, the non-DESH schools, primary schools, DESH, non-DESH, childcare facilities, all sorts of data are enterprise hubs coming from Western Development Commission, broadband connection points, again, coming from Western Development Commission, pharmacies, health centres, GPs, Garda stations, post offices. And you can just see the usefulness of the mapping tool and using feature service from other organizations. Very quickly, Udaros have gone from not having any of this data to having a huge amount of local level facility data, and the ease of which people working in different Gaeltacht areas can jump from zone to zone and see the data. So that's some of our facility data. We'll show a couple of other examples here. We're going to look at this. The next section we will look at is looking at environmental data. So what we're showing here at the start is the location of wind farms. So this is coming from SCAI, and it's bringing in the wind farm data set from there. So we can turn that on, see what's in place in terms of wind farms, click on the pop-up, and you get your detail of what's behind that wind farm. But of course, environmental issues related to wind farms and to environmental issues across the area, you can turn on your different data sets in the background. So looking at special areas of conservation, special protection areas, natural heritage areas, and so on. Again, a very straightforward set of data in a web map, but the ability to pull in this data from other organizations has really accelerated the development of all this across Udaros na Gaeltachta. The last piece of environmental data we'll show here is looking at the Corrine land cover map. Again, understanding what the data is within and across the Gaeltacht area. So looking at the Meath Gaeltacht area, you can see the different types of land use in the background, looking at the difference across the Kerry Gaeltacht, jumping down to Waterford and so on. So again, the team at Udaros now have access to this really wide variety of data to fully understand what's going on within and across their local areas. The last piece we'll show is a couple of examples of dashboards using internal data that's set up within Udaros na Gaeltachta. The first piece we want to look at here relates to asset management, and that's relating to all the business estates and business development units Udaros have in place across the country. So what we're looking at here is estates across Donegal. So we can look at an estate, an industry estate in Bunbeg. These property are owned and managed by Udaros. So using this dashboard and integrating live feeds to it, they can very quickly see from just clicking a few buttons to see what's in place across this estate in terms of the status and in terms of the usage, whether it's an office or the different types of setups are in place. If you click on particular areas, click on this map here, it'll bring you then to that particular estate and that particular property. You click on the link here, it'll give you architectural drawing of that site, what's in the property and so on. So for asset management teams in Udaros, a really good tool here that will be built on in due course with Survey 123 to integrate live feeds and update the data. The last piece I'll show relates to grant summaries, and this is looking at language planning area summaries. So a lot of this data held in different systems across Udaros, in particular a smart simple system, which is the grant and capital system. So taking feeds from that, we're able to quickly undertake and provide a very quick summary of LPTs across Udaros na Gaeltacht. Say looking at Cush Farraga, you can see the number of clients that are currently in place in there, the number of investment that has gone into the area, the number of jobs that have been provided over the last year, and the growth in jobs. It also gives a profile of the population in the area, the age profile, and the number of people speaking Irish language in the area. So all of these essential bits of information to assist UDROS in terms of their planning and their policy making to build and make the area and community as sustainable as possible.